The universe is preparing to deliver a powerful and undeniable reckoning. You may have felt like you were up against forces far beyond your control, but now the tides are shifting. This is not a moment of coincidence, it's divine precision in action. The arrest of your enemies isn't just about legal consequences, it is a cosmic mic drop, a karmic hurricane that sweeps through every layer of deception, exposing the truth. The forces of justice are at work, and karma remembers every wrong. As Galatians 6 veser 7 reminds us, do not be deceived, God is not mocked. For whatever one sows, that will he also reap. Every action, every betrayal has its consequence. And now the truth will burn brighter than any lie they tried to bury. This is not vengeance, it is balance being restored. Karma is not a force of malice but a divine correction, bringing order to a world that was disrupted by lies and deceit. Your enemies believed they could suppress the truth indefinitely, but like the sun rising after a long night, the truth will always shine through. For nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, nor is anything secret that will not be known and come to light. Luke 8 veser 17. This is the moment when their falsehoods unravel, when their schemes crumble beneath the weight of their own actions, like sandcastles washed away by the tide. This is karma at work, relentless and unyielding, exposing every hidden agenda and every whispered betrayal. Their moment of reckoning has arrived. Your ancestors, those who have walked this earth before you, are not just distant memories, they are actively working through the energy around you, guiding you toward this moment of clarity. The signs are unmistakable. Perhaps it's in a dream that wakes you in the middle of the night, or a fleeting encounter with a stranger whose words resonate with you in a way that feels ordained. Maybe it's the subtle shift in the air or the unexpected change in your circumstances. These are not coincidences, they are signs that justice is in motion, pushing the world toward its rightful order. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 veser 18. Your ancestors have seen what was done in the shadows, and now they are helping to clear the path for truth to rise. As you stand in this pivotal moment, the energy around you is undeniable. The universe is aligning, preparing to restore balance in your life. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29 veser 11. Even when the storm rages around you, trust that you are not alone. The ancestors who have fought battles of their own are now sending you the tools you need to face what's ahead with courage and clarity. You are not merely witnessing this divine justice, you are rising with it, propelled forward by the energy that is pushing all things back into alignment. In this process of restoration, remember that justice is not always clean or gentle. It is disruptive, and it demands upheaval. What no longer serves the purpose of God's plan must be broken apart so that something more righteous can be built in its place. Like the sword of truth cutting through illusion, justice does not settle for anything less than the restoration of what has been lost. This event is signaling that karmic debts are being called in. The opportunities, peace, and time that were taken from you are now in the process of being returned. And though justice is being restored, it will not come without turbulence. As the story of Daniel and the writing on the wall reminds us, when the scales tip, they bring change that cannot be ignored. God rules the kingdom of men and gives it to whom he will. Daniel 4 veser 32. This is your time. The whispers of those who came before you, the signs that guide you, all point to this divine reckoning. Justice is roaring, and when it strikes, it will shake everything that was built on false foundations. It is time for you to embrace this moment, not with fear, but with awe at the power that is at work around you. Know that the energy you are feeling is not an accident, it is the universe aligning to restore balance, as it always does in God's perfect timing. Stand firm, for justice does not whisper, it roars. When the truth finally emerges, those who have thrived on deception and manipulation will find themselves facing the divine reckoning they can no longer avoid. Their illusions will crumble, and the balance of the world will shift in ways they cannot control. Standing at the center of this shift, You are called to align yourself with truth and clarity, knowing that justice does not wait. As Proverbs 12 veser 19 reminds us, truthful lips endure forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Justice is not a passive force, it moves with purpose and precision, as a river carves its path through rock. This is not just a moment of exposure, but the birth of a new order. The chaos that surrounds you is temporary, but the balance that is coming is eternal. It is the restoration of what was meant to be, bringing healing where there was harm. Your enemies, blinded by their arrogance, never saw this moment coming. They believed their false strength could shield them, but in truth, they were standing on shaky ground. Divine intervention doesn't announce itself with fanfare, it moves quietly but decisively, exposing the cracks in their carefully constructed facades. As the Apostle Paul writes in Galatians 6 veser 7, "Do not be deceived, God is not mocked, for whatever one sows, that will he also reap." This is the truth they have tried to bury under layers of deceit. Now it is being exposed, and the walls they built to separate themselves from accountability are crumbling from within. What they thought was their strength is revealed as weakness, and justice is making its presence known, unstoppable and inevitable. From a spiritual perspective, this disruption is not just about judgment, it is about cleansing and realignment. In the Buddhist teaching of impermanence, we are reminded that all things, power, deception, even suffering, exist in cycles. What feels chaotic now is the storm that clears the ground for peace, peace that is rooted in truth and clarity. As the dust settles, you will see the space it creates, freedom from the attachments to lies that once held you captive. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. John 8 veser 32. This is the moment of release, when the illusions that once tethered you to pain are dissolved. Let the upheaval pass through you, do not hold on to it. This is the storm before the calm, a necessary disruption that prepares the way for the peace that is coming. But remember, this moment of justice does not affect only those who have caused harm. Its ripple effects extend to you, reshaping your path and offering opportunities for growth and clarity. Justice is not just a tool of punishment, it is a teacher. It realigns you with your true self, drawing you closer to the truth of who you are meant to be. As the psalmist declares, the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 veser 18. Let the waves of change carry you to peace, knowing that the universe is working to bring you into alignment with your higher purpose. This is also a reminder that protection is not passive, it is active and requires vigilance. Archangel Michael's sword is a symbol of divine power, precision, and action. When negativity, chaos, and distractions attempt to invade your space, call upon your inner strength to cut them away. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. Ephesians 6 veser 11. Protect your energy with the same care that you would guard sacred ground. Visualize a golden light surrounding you, pulsating with strength and clarity. This is your shield, a fortress around your spirit. Every interaction, every word spoken, every presence in your space carries energy, and by fortifying yourself, you are declaring that your spirit is not open to misuse. You are protecting your light, not just for yourself but for the divine purpose you are called to fulfill. This is a sacred duty, one that requires focus and intention. As you navigate this moment of reckoning, trust that you are not alone. The divine forces are with you, realigning the world around you and guiding you toward the peace that is promised to those who walk in truth. Keep your spirit fortified, knowing that the justice unfolding is not just a correction of the past, but a preparation for a future rooted in divine clarity and balance. Discernment is your greatest weapon, forged in the fires of mindfulness. When you stay rooted in the present, deceit becomes transparent like fog burned away by the morning sun. Your clarity cuts through lies and manipulations, leaving no room for confusion. As the Apostle Paul writes in Philippians 4 veser 8, "Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, If anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. In practicing discernment, you allow truth to shine through the shadows, revealing what has been hidden in darkness. Chaos thrives on distraction and emotional reactions. It wants you to lose focus and surrender your power. But you must stay still, observe, and you'll see the games for what they are: weak attempts to disrupt your peace. This isn't passivity, it's mastery. By refusing to be pulled into unnecessary drama, you maintain control. Mindfulness isn't just an idea, it's an active shield. When you anchor yourself in the moment, your energy remains yours. The whispers of negativity can't touch you, and the noise of conflict can't find its way in. Protection is action. It's the way you stay vigilant against those who thrive on chaos and distraction. It's the way you claim your space and power without hesitation. Whether through divine intervention, spiritual tools, or the discipline of self-awareness, this is your charge. Protect what matters most. Stay clear, stay sharp, and guard your energy as if your destiny depends on it, because it does. As C.S. Lewis wrote in the Screwtape Letters, the safest road to hell is the gradual one, the gentle slope, soft underfoot, without sudden turnings, without milestones, without signposts. The enemy thrives on distraction and complacency, but your focus, guided by intention and vigilance, ensures that you will not be led astray. This is no time for hesitation. It's time to defend your peace, your purpose, and your path. Betrayal doesn't come from the outside, it strikes from within. Just as Judas sat at the same table as Jesus, those closest to you, your allies, can often be the ones to shatter your illusions. Loyalty built on lies crumbles under pressure, and hidden motives can't survive in the light. Someone in their circle, once their ally, is now the vessel of truth. Their words, their actions, or their silence will expose what your enemies thought they had locked away. As Jesus himself said in Luke 12, veser 2, there is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. This isn't coincidence, it's divine intervention, pulling the strings of justice, dismantling deception from the inside out. Stay vigilant, not for fear, but for clarity. The signs are their subtle shifts in behavior, cracks in their confidence, moments of hesitation that betray the weight of hidden agendas. The same hands that helped build their lives will now be the ones that tear them apart. The truth isn't just emerging, it is breaking free, unstoppable and unapologetic. Now let us take a brief moment to honor the chosen among us. Here's to those who refuse to settle, who sense beyond the humdrum blur and the unseen horizon calling them forward. These are the ones who know the world doesn't need more followers, it needs people alive and awake, forging paths that most eyes will never see. These are the ones who walk with purpose, forging a rare circle that endures within quiet depths, beneath a moon that outshines the brightest neon signs. As C.S. Lewis eloquently described in The Great Divorce, there are only two kinds of people in the end: those who say to God, "Thy will be done," and those to whom God says, "In the end, Thy will be done." The path ahead is clear for those who hear the call. The few remaining seats in the star chamber grow scarcer. If this resonates with you, if you can almost taste the electric hum of possibility, step forward. Discover what thrives in the shadows, what wisdom lies behind the veil. Become part of something rare, something quietly luminous. Keep it fortified, not through walls of fear, but through conscious intention. Spiritual armor doesn't glitter, it grounds. As Ephesians 6 veser 11 reminds us, put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Protect your energy as if your destiny depends on it, because it does. Every interaction, every word spoken, every presence in your space is energy, some uplifting, others draining. By fortifying yourself with the shield of discernment, you are declaring that your spirit is not open to misuse or invasion. You are protecting your light, not just for yourself, but for the divine purpose you are called to fulfill. This is your charge, to protect what matters most and guard your peace like a treasure. The forces working against you thrive in distraction and complacency. Don't give them space. This is a moment of reckoning, and it demands your attention. Watch closely, and you'll see how the seeds of destruction were planted by your enemies' choices, watered by their arrogance, and harvested by those they thought they could trust. The betrayal they face now is the echo of their own actions, the consequence of their disregard for truth and loyalty. Let this be a lesson: trust is sacred, and when misused, it always returns to reveal what was hidden. The truth is not only emerging, it is breaking free, and no power can suppress it. Stay vigilant, because this moment of divine reckoning will bring clarity, exposure, and ultimately peace. Your ancestors did not endure struggle and sacrifice only for you to falter. They fought, they persevered, and their strength runs through your very veins. In times of uncertainty and doubt, they are your eternal guides, always present, always whispering their wisdom to you. The voice you sometimes dismiss as mere instinct is, in fact, their guidance, calling you to trust the path ahead. Do not second-guess this inner voice. It is the divine presence within you, urging you forward with clarity and wisdom that transcend earthly understanding. When the air around you grows heavy with uncertainty, when the fog of confusion clouds your vision, call upon your ancestors, for they are the ones clearing the way. As the psalmist writes in Psalm 119, veser 105, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." Their wisdom illuminates your way, revealing hidden intentions and deceit that might otherwise go unnoticed. Trust in their guidance, for they have seen this before they've walked this journey themselves. The journey you're on is not one you walk alone. You may not always see them, but your ancestors are with you, watching, guiding, protecting. They are the shield at your back, the strength beneath your feet, and the voice whispering in your ear, urging you to trust the divine plan unfolding before you. When others approach you with false kindness, masking ill intentions behind a smile, it is your ancestors who will send you subtle signs, guiding you through the fog of deception. A bird crossing your path, a phrase spoken by a stranger, or a feeling in your gut — these are not coincidences. These are divine nudges, leading you toward truth and away from the snares of betrayal. As Proverbs 3 veser 5-6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight." When you move in alignment with their wisdom, the betrayal of others cannot touch you. Your ancestors, grounded in faith, shield you from harm, guiding you through the darkness with the clarity of divine truth. Your intuition is not just a guess, it is the voice of the divine speaking directly to you. When the energy around you feels heavy, when words are spoken with a disconnect from their true intent, your intuition is the sharp, unwavering voice of truth that cuts through the noise. The Holy Spirit, as described in John 16 veser 13, "But when He, the Spirit of truth, comes, He will guide you into all the truth." This inner compass is not to be dismissed. It is sharper than any illusion and stronger than any lie. Trust it, for it knows what your mind cannot yet grasp, sees what your eyes cannot yet perceive. It shields you from danger and guides you toward your divine purpose. The divine spark within you, the piece of infinite wisdom placed in your soul, is always speaking if only you listen. But listen closely, the divine does not repeat itself. The lessons you face are not random, they are appointments, divinely ordained. As the Bible tells us in James 1 veser 2-4, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." Trials are not punishments but opportunities for growth. They stretch you, mold you, and refine you. Just as gold is refined in the fire, so too are you being shaped for something greater. Each challenge, each moment of struggle, is a stepping stone to your higher purpose. The fire of adversity does not exist to consume you, it exists to burn away the doubt, fear, and weakness, leaving only the strongest parts of you behind. This moment, this trial, is not the end. It is but a precursor to the elevation that awaits. Every prophet, every righteous soul in history has faced trials that seemed insurmountable, but through faith they walked through fire, trusting that the path ahead was divinely ordained. You are being asked to do the same. Trust in the process. The storm may rage around you, but the promise of God's faithfulness remains unshakable. As Romans 8 veser 28 assures us, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. The pain you experience is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of a new chapter in your journey. After hardship comes ease, and after the test comes the reward. Hold your ground, for you were built for this. In times of struggle, lean on your ancestors' wisdom, trust your intuition, and remember that you are not alone. God's hand is guiding you, and His plan is unfolding perfectly, even when it seems unclear. You are being refined, shaped for greatness, and the strength you need is already within you. Keep moving forward with faith, for the best is yet to come. In the Christian faith, we understand that trials are not just obstacles, they are divine opportunities for transformation. The hardships, betrayals, and chaos you face are not random misfortunes, but the refining fire designed by God to purify and strengthen your soul. Just as gold is purified in the fire, the challenges you endure serve a higher purpose, burning away fear, doubt, and weakness, and leaving behind only the strength and resilience that God has instilled within you. In 1 Peter 1 veser 7, it is written, "These have come so that the proven genuineness of your faith of greater worth than gold, which perishes even though refined by fire, may result in praise, glory, and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed." Your struggles are not punishment, they are God's way of refining you, molding you into the person He has called you to be. This is not a process of destruction but of transformation. The raw emotions of anger, grief, and frustration are powerful forces, but they must be transmuted into something purposeful. C.S. Lewis, in his book The Problem of Pain, reminds us that God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is His megaphone to rouse a deaf world. The pain you are feeling right now is a catalyst for growth, an opportunity to sharpen your focus and fortify your spirit. Just as a blacksmith tempers a sword by plunging it into fire, you are being forged in the furnace of life's challenges. This is not about enduring suffering for the sake of it, but about allowing God to use your pain to elevate you, transforming it into a force that strengthens your resolve. The process of alchemy, in its truest sense, is not about metals, it is about turning the base experiences of life into the highest form of wisdom. Pain, when surrendered to God, becomes power, doubt becomes clarity, weakness becomes strength. In Romans 5 veser 3-4, Paul writes, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope." These trials are not here to defeat you, but to create an unshakable foundation for the future. As you endure the fire, know that you are being prepared for something greater. The suffering you endure today is the soil from which the fruit of your faith will grow. Your journey is not just about surviving the storm, it's about becoming someone who can lead others through it. In times of great struggle, leaders emerge, not because they are perfect, but because they are willing to rise above their fear and doubts. As C.S. Lewis writes in Mere Christianity, the good Christian is a person who is really concerned about others, and not just themselves. This is your moment to step up, to lead with unwavering conviction, and to create clarity where others see only confusion. In Matthew 5 veser 14-16, Jesus says, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house." You are called to be that light, guiding others through the darkness of uncertainty. True leadership is born not in moments of comfort, but in moments of trial. This is your turning point, the moment where you move beyond personal struggle and into a greater purpose. Leadership is not about waiting for permission or the perfect moment, it's about taking action. When others are hesitating, wondering who will rise to lead, you are called to step forward. Fear may test your resolve, but it does not disqualify you. In Joshua 1 veser 9, God commands, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. You are never alone in your journey. Service is another divine calling that transforms personal trials into collective upliftment. When the weight of the world feels too heavy, the path forward is not retreat but stepping into service for others. The pain you carry, the struggles you face, and the lessons you learn are not just for you, they are tools to help others, to bring light into their darkness. In 2 Corinthians 1 veser 4, Paul reminds us that God comforts us in all our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any trouble with the comfort we ourselves receive from God. True service doesn't ask for recognition, it acts out of compassion and purpose, aligning you with the divine will. It is through service that healing takes place, not by waiting until you feel whole, but by giving to others in the midst of your pain. The trials you face are opportunities for divine alignment, opportunities to step beyond your ego and into the calling God has for you. You were not made to be broken by hardship, but to rise from it, stronger, wiser, and more attuned to God's purpose. When you step into service, you not only heal yourself but help heal the world around you. This is your moment to be the light, to lead with purpose, and to transform every hardship into a source of strength for yourself and others. In the Christian walk, there are moments when the struggle feels isolating, but it is in those very moments that we must remember we are not alone. As believers, we understand that the challenges we face are part of God's divine will, meant not to break us but to refine us. The pain we experience becomes a shared strength when we step beyond our own limitations and align ourselves with God's grace. C.S. Lewis reminds us in The Problem of Pain, God whispers to us in our pleasures, speaks in our consciences, but shouts in our pains. It is his megaphone to rouse a deaf world. Our suffering is not without purpose. It is an invitation to become vessels of change, to transform the energy of pain into the energy of hope. This transformation comes not through passive endurance but through active service. When we choose to live with intention, to help, uplift, and guide others, we create purpose from our pain. In Romans 5 veser 3-4, Paul writes, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance, character, and character. Hope. Each trial is an opportunity to grow, not just for ourselves but for others." The pain we endure is not just for our own purification, it becomes a blessing to those around us. In Philippians 2 veser 3-4, Paul urges us, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of the others." Service in this sense is the highest form of strength. It is through selfless service that we create ripples of change, lifting others from the depths of their own struggles. In this journey, you are not merely shielded, you are chosen. The mantle of spiritual leadership is not for the timid, but for those who are ready to bear the weight of divine purpose. This calling does not come because we are without weakness, it comes because we have been refined through fire. Just as Jesus called his disciples to take up their crosses and follow him, you are called to lead by example. In 1 Peter 2 veser 9, it says, "But you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession, that you may declare the praises of him who called you out of darkness into his wonderful light." Your trials have prepared you, not just to survive, but to protect and guide others as a pillar of strength. Leadership in Christ is active stewardship, not passive observation. You have walked through the valley of darkness, and now you carry the wisdom that others need. The world is watching how you rise, how you stand firm when the storms of life threaten to tear everything apart. In Matthew 5 veser 14-16, Jesus calls us to be the light of the world, saying, "You are the light of the world." A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Your light, which has been forged through your experiences, is meant to guide others toward hope. You are not just here to shield yourself, but to extend divine protection to those entrusted to you, like a fortress of faith. In these moments, it takes courage to lead. Your actions, decisions, and resilience are a roadmap for those lost in their own struggles. This is not the time to shrink back, it is the time to step forward with authority, knowing you have been chosen for such a time as this. As C.S. Lewis writes in Mere Christianity, the Christian does not think God will love us because we are good, but that God will make us good because He loves us. You are being called to lead with the authority that comes from being chosen by God, not because of your own greatness, but because He has equipped you for this role. Adversity did not break you, it revealed you. Just like the lotus that blooms from the thickest mud, you have risen stronger, clearer, and more radiant. This moment is not about retreating or questioning, it is about shining, about mastering the trials you've faced and using them as the foundation of your greatness. In Isaiah 60, veser 1, God says, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." You are called to rise and shine, to share how your trials have transformed you, and to inspire others with the wisdom you have gained through the fire. This is the beginning of something greater. The trials you have faced have proven your strength and faith, and now is the time to step fully into your calling. The world needs your story, your truth, and your light. Let your actions be a beacon of hope for those around you. You have been tested, you have been proven, and now it's time to inspire others to walk through their own challenges with courage and faith, knowing that God's plan is unfolding perfectly.